Everybody, welcome to this weekly astrology reading for the week of March 28th. So this video is a little bit late this week. I do apologize, but been very busy this week, and really, to me, this week is very much a build-up week. Actually, I think it's a week that is going to have to do with like building up a lot of energies. I think next week is actually going to be much more energetic, a lot more moving forward and things like that for people. So this week is kind of, there's not really a whole lot, as far as I'm concerned, going on. I mean, maybe some other astrologers would disagree with me there. So, definitely listen to other people as well, not just me. But I think that this week is a lot more of kind of a continuation of last week, and I think next week feels a lot better. But I would say, if nothing else this week, it's a great week to be super enthusiastic. There's a lot of enthusiastic energy, but with a lot of thought. So just looking at the chart, we have Jupiter. One thing, I'm going to focus a lot on Jupiter probably real quickly, and I'm also going to pull some cards this week as well, just to get a little bit more clarification. But we have Jupiter is going to be in the 4th house this week, so a lot going on with family, thinking about family, maybe even how you can benefit family benefit from your family, give more benefits to your family, how you can be a better provider, how you can better provide for yourself as well. I think, the 4th house has to do with our home and family and things, but also, I think sometimes we could look at ourselves as a home, and our bodies and things like that. So it doesn't directly have to do with health, but we could be, I think that this Jupiter in the 4th house there, it's in Virgo. This is going to be at the beginning of the week. I think that a lot of this can have to do with also like looking at ourselves and how we can better benefit ourselves and become better providers for ourselves as well. Like, how can we better provide for ourselves? It's also a great time for real estate. I will say, planning real estate, planning on moving, selling, buying, all those things. Jupiter in the 4th is always great for, planning and buying real estate and things like that. It's also great for family reunions, but I would actually say that Jupiter in the 4th, especially this year, I think you would be more planning to go to a family reunion. I wouldn't say that you would be actually going. And I think if we look at like traditional astrology and things, they would say Jupiter in the 4th, you'll be going to a family reunion. But I think that's actually not true. I don't think that's going to be the case right now. I think you're mostly maybe going to be planning one more for the summer or something like that. When I think a lot of this opens up, there's a little bit of travel energy this week though, so it's very possible for a small percentage of you that you could be doing that. We also have Jupiter is going to be squaring Saturn, and this is coming off of this happened on the 23rd, and so it's going to be moving away here, but I still think we're dealing with a lot of this Jupiter square Saturn type energy. We're learning how to like deal with criticisms and being heavily criticized and learning how to deal with all of that. I talked about this last week, especially with like, the craziness that's going on in the world and politics and all this other stuff. It's very easy for us to feel very criticized by our friends, if we have different beliefs or whatever. So, I think it's a great time to really care for yourself. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. I think it's also easy to criticize yourself. Remember what I said about Jupiter in the 4th? Well, it normally has to do with homes and family. I think like our body is a home as well. It's what our spirit lives in. So, be very gentle with yourself this week. Jupiter square Saturn is also, it's super important, I think, for us to stick to our word, to do what we say and say what we do and all of that. So definitely, if you have plans this week, like if you say, this week I'm going to start doing whatever, I'm going to start doing this, do it. It's a great week to actually do what you say. Like, stick to it. If you don't stick to it, you're not going to do it with this energy, because that's what it's all about. But it's a great time, like I said, be very gentle with yourself again. I know that it's coming off. I know the energy, again, that Jupiter square Saturn started on the 23rd. It's kind of moving off now, but the energy is still there. We also have Mars is going to be squaring Jupiter this week as well. I think this is going to make us more aggressive for our goals, make us want to be very successful. This is also all about enthusiasm. Like I said, it's a very good week for enthusiasm. I think we feel very enthusiastic this week. So, but I think we need to be educated as well, because we have Jupiter is going to be opposite Neptune as well this week. And so I think when Jupiter's opposite Neptune, we really need to investigate everything that we're doing. We really need to study. Jupiter opposite Neptune is like prime for blindly accepting things and blind faith. Like I said, it's a very dangerous time right now as far as like, politics, anything like that online. I just, try to stay out of it, because, it's a funny thing, even just, studying all this other stuff. since studying astrology, I just noticed even on social media, it's like recently with this Jupiter opposite Neptune, there have been a lot of like fake things going around and fake stories, and I see every single day on my feed all these people like posting these fake stories, and then people coming in and attacking them and like proving that the stories are fake, and it creates this whole thing. So it's all about not blindly accepting things. Like I said, I think the energy is primed to just believe everything right now. One way or the other, doesn't matter, and the energy is really primed for deceit as well. I would say on a global scale, there's a lot of deception going on, and I would also say in your personal lives, like watch out for deception, investigate, take a pause. It's like a pause week for sure. Not necessarily like a pause week where you want to stop doing things, but definitely like a week where you want to just take a quick thought before you have any reactions or before you do anything. Like I said, this week to me is very much like last week. I think I said a lot of these same things. Like it's a good time to think before you talk. It's a great time before even before you post something on social media or something, maybe think about it, or go investigate it before you start the new job, before you do whatever. It's a great time to investigate, especially Jupiter opposite Neptune. Great time to look into things, get a little bit deeper, see how you really feel about it. Don't have that initial emotional reaction that we're primed for right now. We have all these planets moving into Aries. I think that it's going to make us primed to have these like jumpy emotional reactions. So I think it's a great time to just kind of like, I think I even said it last week, calibrate. Just think about things before you say it. We also have Venus is going to be opposite Jupiter as well. I think that this can make us attracted to a bunch of different things. We have Venus is going to be in Pisces for a little bit longer here. And I think that we could be like attracted to a bunch of different things, a bunch of different people doing a bunch of different things. Maybe you have a bunch of business ideas and you're like attracted to a bunch of them. You're not really sure what you want to do. It's definitely potential to be moving around a lot, planning a lot. But again, I think that this type of energy is kind of like the stop, think, investigate type of thing, where you stop, you think about it, you investigate, you pick the best option after a little bit of investigation, and then you go. Like I said, I really shouldn't be using the word pause, because it's definitely not a week to stop. Like, you definitely don't need to stop. You definitely don't need to not do something. I would say take action and move forward, but with thought and with investigation. And finally, I would say, the other thing that I really like about this week as well is that we have Moon in Sagittarius, which could definitely lighten the mood, lighten things up a little bit. Sagittarius is a lot more fun, a lot more adventurous. Great time to plan adventures. I think it's a great time to plan travel. I think that this summer is going to be a heavy travel summer for a lot of people, summer, fall area, maybe even the early summer. A lot of people could be traveling during that time. This makes us more adventurous, like I said, great for planning those adventures, and it's a great time to get outdoors as well, great time to get outside after the winter and things like that. But that's pretty much all that's really standing out to me this week, I would have to say. So let's pull a couple cards and see what else we can come up with for this week, since the astrology was kind of, not so great. And the funny thing is the cards play right into exactly what I said. We start with the 7 of clubs here for this week. 7 of clubs, you have 2 7s coming up here, and the 7s are all about something missing. So what does that mean? Well, like I said, it's a great week to investigate things, not just jump right into things. 7 of clubs is success at something, but needing to investigate a little bit more. Clubs represent the brain. 7 of clubs represents needing to like figure something out. Just figure some extra little bit of something out before you jump into something. Same with the 7 of hearts. This is actually a very good card as well, because it means that you're committed to something. It means you want to commit to something. I think everybody's ready to commit to something. There's like a lot of that going on. But this is again missing just a little bit of information. I think for this week it's pretty clear that little bit of information can easily be gathered like right away in a day. If you're thinking about doing 3 different things, or maybe starting a relationship with like 3 different people, figuring all that out. It's a great week. Again, investigate, and then make your decision. You have the King of Clubs as well. King of Clubs, all about thinking about things. Again, clubs represent the mind, and they represent how we think and how we plan and all of those things. King of Clubs, great card to think about things, but he also takes action as well. So, this represents a fire sign. We have all these planets moving into fire signs and things right now and getting ready to move into fire signs. So definitely a great time to think about action, plan out your actions, and take those actions even as well. And finally, you have the Five of Spades, needing to take adventures. Isn't it funny that adventures came up like 100 times this week? Well, maybe not 100 times, but a few times. There's a lot of stuff about adventure, planning, travel. So I think a lot of you maybe are getting, maybe even feeling a little bit restless and getting ready to go this week. So looks like a great week. Actually, rather exciting. I would say that you'll probably feel the buildup, like as we get to the end of the week, of this like push forward that's going to come next week. That I'll definitely talk about next week. I think there's going to be a lot more kind of really forward momentum next week. So thank you for watching and enjoy the week.